Hello dear students, today we will be discussing various basic accounting terms commonly known as accounting terminology also. So the first terminology is business entity. You must have heard so many times business entity or business organization, or it is also known as firm, business firm. So what are these business organizations or business firm? These are the economic unit engaged in performing, yes, what kind of activities? Economic activities. Like for example, you can take the example of Maruti Suzuki or Dabur India, Ranbaxy, Tata Motors, Infosys, or take any business around you. Like for example, Big Bazaar or Easy Day. All these are the examples of business units performing economic activities. So they are not doing any activity which does not lead to non-economic activity. All activities conducted by them are economic activities, and the basic purpose behind them is to earn the profits. So now let us do second term. Second term is business transactions, or commonly known as accounting information. We have already done accounting information. There are two characteristics of accounting information. Number one, it must be related to the business, and what else? It should be expressed in money terms, or can be converted in rupees. So if, for example, a firm got a prize of best, let us say best shoe company. Now this prize, you won't be able to convert this in monetary terms, so you won't be able to record it. Like I gave you the example of appreciating an employee. So if you are appreciating an employee, in that case you are giving him a certificate of appreciation, though this is related to business, but because it cannot be converted in monetary terms, therefore you won't be able to record this. Now let us move to some more characteristics of business transactions. Now there are different types of business transactions. Types of business transactions. Now first type of business transaction can be cash transaction. Second is, after cash, second you can write down credit transaction. Internal transaction and external transactions. Last is external transaction. Now let us talk about cash transaction. What will happen in case of cash transactions? When you get cash immediately, you get the cash or you pay the cash. Pay cash. For example, when you purchase raw material, for your goods, we are discussing cash transactions. So when you purchase raw material, for example, suppose you are furniture maker. So when you purchase wooden logs as a raw material for making furniture, as soon as you purchase raw material, immediately you make the payment. Payment has been done. So in that case, this will be known as cash transaction. Likewise, when you pay electricity bill and immediately make the payment immediately. Likewise, so that will be a cash transaction. Similarly, for example, when you pay salary to your employees, payment of salary in cash, this is also cash transaction. Likewise, suppose your customer, these were the examples of payments, but it involves all cash payment. Payment means when you are paying cash and receiving cash. Receiving cash means when customer buys your products, buys the product produced by the business entity. Now I hope you understand the meaning of business entity, and immediately makes payment, or you can write from your own point of view, give cash. Likewise, suppose you had some extra property with you which you gave on rental basis. So in that case, rent received in cash will be a cash transaction. So all these are cash transactions. So now let us see what are credit transactions. Credit transaction means when immediately cash is not received or paid. So in this case, the person or whosoever is connected with the business, he promises to make payment in future. Promise to make payment in future. Or what is the other part? Business promises to make payment in future. So this is a cash transaction, means when immediate cash is not paid or not received. In cash transaction, as soon as the transaction occurs, you immediately get the cash. But in credit transaction, you won't be able to get the cash immediately. It may be after 1 month or after 1 week, depending upon their terms and condition. For example, in case of credit transaction, what will happen? In case of credit transactions, when you purchase raw material and promise to pay, when business purchase raw material and promise to pay after 1 week, this will be credit transaction. Likewise, electricity bill, though if you make too much pending on electricity bill, then they may disconnect your connection. But if suppose immediate payment is not done, you make the payment within the limits or time provided by electricity board, then in that case it will be a credit transaction. Salary, obviously here also you cannot make too much salary, pending salary, so you have to make payment, but suppose you are not making immediate payment, then this will be a credit transaction. Likewise, when customer buys our product, he is not making immediate payment, so in that case also this will be a credit transaction. There is another term known for this. This is known as debtor. Customer will become our debtor if he is not making immediate payment. Likewise here also, this will also be a credit transaction if rent is not immediately received. Likewise, when we are not paying money to our suppliers, will be able to create creditors or our liability. This term will be explaining in the further section. So I hope the meaning of cash and credit transaction is clear to you. What is the meaning of cash transaction? When immediate cash is paid. And what is the meaning of credit transaction? When we make payment, we make promise to make payment in future. It can be in case of receipts also as well as in case of payments, both ways. Likewise here also there can be a transaction of receiving cash and there can be a transaction of paying cash from firm's point of view, from business entity point of view, from organization point of view. Now see the next one. Next one is internal transaction. Now what is this internal transaction? Internal transaction means when no outsider is involved. When no outsider is involved. So you make a transaction in which is internal transaction. For example, when a business organization or business entity decides that this much profit, suppose take one example of internal transaction. Internal transaction, here no outsider is involved. For example, a business earned a profit of, let us say, rupees 1 lakh. Now suppose this business is in partnership and partners have decided that they will not be using this full money. They want to keep a part of this profit for reserve. So they want to use 80,000 and out of this 20,000 they want to keep as reserve. So this keeping money as a reserve is your internal transaction. Likewise, see the second example, when you value your closing stock, valuation of closing stock. This is also internal matter. At what price you want to value your closing stock? This will also be an internal transaction. The price at which you will value your closing stock will be internal transaction. Now let us see the last type of transaction. This is external transaction. See, what is the meaning of external transaction? When outsiders are involved. Outsiders are involved. Outsiders are involved. Like for example, when you are transacting with, when you are buying raw material from, let me write here, examples of external transactions. Transaction of business with customer. Transaction of business with suppliers. Transaction of business with employees, payment of salaries. So whenever business interacts with, like for example, electricity board, paying water bill, water charges. So whenever business is interacting with the outsider, that this will be known as external transactions. So what we have done in various types of transaction. First is, the first characteristics of business transaction is related to business and it should be in money down means it can easily be converted into cash. If it is not in monetary terms, then you won't be able to record it. Then types of business transactions are, there are 4 types of business transaction. Number 1, it can be cash, it can be credit, internal and external. Cash transaction means when you receive cash immediately, it will be a cash transaction. When cash is not received immediately, you promise to make payment in future, or business make the promise to make payment in future, or the party or customer make promise to make the payment in future. Internal, when no outsider is involved. Outsiders are involved in external transactions. So I hope all these examples must be clear to you. Now let us move to the next concept. Third concept is related to capital. This is very important concept. See why you need to study all these terminologies, because in the further studies we will be using these terminologies. We will not be explaining them again and again, and whenever a capital term comes or business entity comes, then immediately you will be able to reflect their meanings. So what is capital? Though you know the rough meaning of capital, let us see the meaning of capital. Capital is the amount invested by the owner. It is the capital is the amount invested by the owner. Now amount invested can be invested in the form of cash. For example, owner is investing in the rupees 10 lakhs into the business. Whatever he is putting into the business. Suppose he arranged this money by selling his old land worth of rupees, let us say 8 lakhs. He sold the jewelry of his wife, which is of 2 lakhs. So he put the money into the business as a cash. So whatever money he is putting into the business, he is starting a business with this money. This will be known as his capital. No matter whatever be the source of money, this it doesn't matter. But whatever he is putting into the business, whatever monetary resources he is giving to the business, that is termed as capital. Now let us see one more example for this. For example, he had some old furniture. Now suppose you can't write the furniture in non-monetary terms. You have to convert the value of this furniture in monetary terms. So suppose the value of this furniture, he called an evaluator, and the value of this furniture is, let us say, 2 lakhs. So amount invested in kind, and the monetary value of that kind will be counted as his capital. So now his capital will be 10 lakhs plus 2 lakhs. Now suppose he has given his old vehicle to the firm, and the value of this old vehicle is, let us say, 2 lakhs. You must be thinking that he is investing everything in every old articles into the business, old furniture, old vehicle. Likewise, suppose he had some flat which is not in use, so he gave this flat to the business for office use, and the value of that flat is, let us say, 15 lakhs. So how much is the total capital? If suppose he is investing only in the form of cash, in that case 10 lakhs. If he is investing with furniture, then the value of capital will be 10 lakhs plus 2 lakhs, 12 lakhs. If he is investing old vehicle also, this plus this plus this, then his capital will be 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, it will be 14 lakhs. But if he has given flat also, then 10 plus 2 plus 2 plus 15 lakhs. This will be 29 lakhs. So total we can write that his capital will be 29 lakhs. So I hope the meaning of capital is clear. This is the owner's investment, owner's stake, owner's hold in the business. How much owner is putting his money into the business. It can be in the form of cash or it can be in the form of kind. But when it is in the form of kind, the monetary value of that will be counted. So I hope this meaning of capital is clear. Next term is drawings. Now this is just opposite. Drawing is just opposite of capital. In case of capital, money investment, money invested by the owner. Now drawings are disinvestments of the owner or amount withdrawn by the owner for his or her personal use. Yes, personal use means now for his, not for the use of business. Now again, this can be in cash. Suppose he is withdrawing in the form of cash, or he is withdrawing some articles from the business. Articles from the business means, like for example, if he is making furniture, then suppose he has used firm's wood for making his personal furniture, that will be the monetary value of that will be his drawings. Or let us assume a very easy example. Suppose a sweet shop is there. Our owner is running a sweet shop, and at the time of Diwali, suppose he has kept 10 boxes of sweets for personal use. Then the value of these 10 boxes in monetary terms, suppose the value of one box is rupees 1000. Then the monetary value of these drawings will be 10,000. 1000 multiplied by 10, this will be 10,000. So everything, whatever we are doing in this terminology, everything has to be converted. This is the prerequisite, that everything has to be converted in monetary terms. Suppose he is withdrawing in cash also. Suppose for the payment of, we have already done this example, for the payment of his son's school fees, he has withdrawn rupees 1 lakh from the business. So in this case, his drawings will be 1 lakh. So I hope the meaning of drawing is clear to you. Drawing means amount withdrawn by the owner. It can be in the form of cash and the monetary value of kind. Monetary value of kind. Now see the next term. Next term is properties. We'll be writing the technical term for this later on. Let us see the meaning of property. Now anything business feel proud of having, that is property. For example, you have a cash, business has cash, bank balance, or what else? Your machinery, your furniture, land, building, or your vehicles, all valuables, your computers, laptops, whatever valuables you are having in the business, all these are your properties. So what is the technical term used for this is assets. So what is the meaning of assets? All valuables in the form are assets. So further we can divide these valuables in two forms, tangible and intangible. Tangible assets and intangible assets. So what are tangible assets? Which can be touched and which can be seen. So these are the basically property. You can touch your furniture, you can touch your vehicle, computers, machinery, furniture, land, your cash amount, bank balance. Though you have the record of this bank balance, you have cash, this passbook and ATM card. So all these are tangible assets which can be touched and seen. Now what are intangible assets? Intangible assets are which cannot be seen. Which cannot be seen or touched. You cannot touch. Like for example, your goodwill of the firm, reputation of the firm, goodwill, trademarks, your patent rights. So all these are your intangible assets. So you cannot hold them, but you can feel this. So people will respect this businessman because he is having a very high goodwill. So hope these two types of properties are clear to you. Tangible assets which can be touched, which can be seen. What are the examples of tangible assets? It can be machinery, it can be furniture, or it can be your vehicles, computers, your or your furnitures likewise. Now let us do the second classification. second classification of assets. Second classification of asset is current assets and non-current assets. So let me discuss this non-current asset first, which are held by the businessman for long period. These are held for long period of time, and the main purpose is these are not held for sale. Neither you want to convert these assets into cash. Like for example, and in this case, this is most liquid and which keeps on changing its form within a period of 1 year. Within 1 year, they used to change their form. Like for example, you had cash with you, then you purchase raw material. Then firm converted raw material into finished goods. Finished material, rather I should say, because I will be explaining the meaning of goods later on. Finished material, then when sale took place, you will get debtor. Debtor means the customer who purchased on credit, or it can be directly you receive cash, or you can receive cash through your debtors. I repeat, you had cash with you. Number 1, step 1, you purchase raw material, and then you converted raw material into finished goods, and then sold the goods. Sale of material. After selling, you either receive cash from your customer directly, or customer will promise to make payment in future. If customer will make promise to make payment in future, then this customer will be known as debtor. D-E-B-T-O-R, debtor. Then through debtor you will be receiving cash. So this is how our current assets keeps on changing its form. First form cash, then this is a stock of raw material, then this is a stock of finished goods, then it converted into debtors, then cash. So these are the examples also of current assets. So current assets are those assets which keeps on changing its form within a period of 1 year. So these are the most liquid, like for example cash, your bank balance, then your stock. This stock can be of raw material, it can be of semi-finished goods, or it can be goods or material, or it can be of finished material. So these are your types of, and further you can write debtors, and when you make your debtors time bound, then there is another term known as bills receivable. Here you fix the time of payment to your customer, with your customers. So, and inventory, all these are the examples of current assets. So see what will happen in this case. Business purchase raw material, convert into finished goods, and sale. So this process continues, and suppose at the end of 1 year some part of the goods are left unsold, so that is their closing stock. So what is closing stock? Closing stock is that part of stock which is left unsold. And likewise, when you purchase machinery, the purpose of buying this non-current asset is not to resale. What is the purpose? The purpose is that you will be using this particular property for long period of time. For example, let us take the example of car. When you purchase car, What is the motive behind buying a car for business? Motive is that you will be using this car for long period of time. So this will be your non-current asset. But if suppose we are talking about a car manufacturing company, see, this is very important point. Car manufacturing company, those who are dealing in car, for them, if they keep the cars for a long period of time in the store, so this is not a good sign. So I hope you are getting this. This cars for them is a current assets. So like for example Tata Motors or Maruti, Suzuki and Hyundai. So for them, car will be considered as current assets. So I hope the meaning of current assets and non-current assets must be clear to you. These are held for long period of time and not meant for sale. If they meant for sale, they becomes current assets. And likewise, current assets are, they keep on changing its form within a period of 1 year, or there is another term known as operating cycle. Operating cycle means how quickly you convert your cash into cash. See what is happening here. We started from cash, raw material, finished goods, debtors, then again come back to cash. So how quickly you convert your cash into cash. So these are your current assets. Current examples of current assets: cash, bank balance, stock, debtors, bills receivable, closing stock. Yes. Now let us do another important term. Another important term is your goods. I think this is term number 6. Yes, 6. Goods. Now, you must have observed quite often that we keep on using this term quite oftenly. Goods purchased, goods sold. So let us see the exact meaning of goods. So these are the articles which are purchased for sale, or these are the articles in which business deals. For example, we just done this example that when you purchase buying car for let us say shoe company. If car is purchase of car by shoe company will be asset. Why this is an asset? Because the purpose behind purchase of car is not to resale, and they'll be using this for long period of time. But when we talk about so for example, if a particular person is dealing in car, it means the purpose is to purchase the cars and sell the car. In that case, this will be termed as his goods. So this car will become article for that business. Likewise, let us take the example of property dealer. Yes, what is the job of property dealer? Property dealer, he used to purchase, buying land and selling land. Likewise, purchase flats at low cost and selling higher price, like rental, consultation about rental properties. So, if suppose he buys a house or he buys a land, this will be a goods for him because he is dealing in that. But if suppose a shoe manufacturer or garment manufacturer purchase a land, then that will not be termed as goods, because the purpose behind this is not to resale. So this is very important, that the purpose behind these goods should be resale. So let us take the example of ready-made garment shop. Yes, what will happen in case of ready-made garment shop? Suppose if they purchase shirts, for further sale, so this will be known as purchase of goods. But if suppose they buy a sewing machine for alteration of cloths, in that case this buying of sewing machine will not be termed as goods, because this is not purchased for resale. So I hope it must be clear to you. Because they are dealing in shirts, so whatever they purchase, this will be termed as purchase of goods. But they are not dealing in sewing machine. They purchase sewing machine because they will be using this for long period of time. The purpose is not to sale of product. And likewise, another term which is connected with this is purchases. Like for example, suppose I give you this in quotation: for purchase, goods purchases are rupees, let us say 1 lakh. So whenever word purchase is written, it means purchase of goods only. So the term purchase means, though we commonly use this particular term for other things also, like for example purchase of land, purchase of building, purchase of furniture, but if simply we are saying purchases, then simple word purchase means purchase of goods in which firm deals, in which firm, or what is the meaning of firm? Business entity deals. So I hope all these terms which we discussed today must be clear to you. Let us recapitulate what we did today. Today we have done business entity, meaning of business entity, economic unit engaged in performing economic activities is a business entity. Then second business entity I gave you various examples of business entity also. Examples of business entity are any kind of business organization, whether it's a shop or a factory organization or trading concern or service organization. So if their main motive is economic purpose, they are doing economic activities, then this will be a business entity. Then business transactions, there are two characteristics of business transactions related to the business, and it should be converted in money terms. Then types of business transaction: cash transaction, credit, and internal and external. Then we did various examples of cash transactions: purchase of raw material in cash. What is the meaning of cash transaction? When immediate payment is done. As soon as your transaction takes place, immediately the payment is also done. And what will happen in case of credit transactions? Payment will be done later on, and you will only make a promise, and this can be both ways. You will receive promise and you will give promise. Internal transaction which does not involve any outsider. External, all transactions which are related with the outsider, where outsiders are involved, are external. So, and then we did the meaning of capital: amount invested by the owner. It can be in the form of cash or the monetary value, money value of all the articles introduced by the owner. We took this example drawing. This is the This is investment, owner's investment. This is disinvestment. Cash, it can be drawing can be in cash or it can be in kind also. The monetary value of that kind will be recorded. Then properties, or what is the exact meaning for this? Assets. Now we'll be calling them assets, because now you know the meaning of assets. All valuables, whatever firm is having. So firm feel proud of all those valuables, and those valuables are your assets, like your cash, bank balance, machinery, furniture, land, vehicles, building, computers, all are your assets. Tangible and intangible assets. Tangible means which can be touched, which can be seen, touched and seen, and intangible which cannot be seen, like for example your goodwill, trademarks and patents. So, and another category is current assets and non-current assets. Current assets which keeps on changing its form within a period of 1 year, and the purpose can be purpose of raw material, like for example is resale. But the non-current assets they are meant for long period of time, not held for sale or resale. Convert these assets into cash. So like for example cars, firm has no intention to convert these assets into cash within a period of 1 year. The purpose behind this purchase is that you will be using them for more than 1 year, maybe for 5 years or 10 years. But if a car manufacturing company is there, then for them these cars will be current assets. Then we did the definition of goods. Article in which business deals. These are the goods. Purchase of cars by shoe company. These are their assets because not for resale. But if car is buying for sale purpose, then it will be your goods. So what is the definition of goods? These are article in which firm deals, and the purpose behind this is that they are purchased for resale. Then purchases means, but the word purchase is used for purchase of goods only, not for purchase of asset, purchase of land, purchase of building. For that you need to specify. But if you are only writing purchases, that's it. So purchases means purchase of goods only. So we'll be doing further terminologies in the next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.